Today, we're diving into an ancient story called the Selasutta. And this isn't just about the plot. It's about how the real meaning of just a couple of words can completely transform everything. We're going to see how a pretty simple encounter spirals into this huge cosmic revelation. And it's all unlocked by the power of translation. And believe it or not, it all kicks off with this one word. A single question that literally stops a brilliant scholar named Sela right in his tracks and turns his entire world upside down. This is the spark that ignites the whole story. All right, so let's set the scene. You've got Sela, a Brahmin master. This guy is a top expert in the sacred Vedas, and he has 300 students following his every word. One day, he spots his acquaintance, an ascetic named Keṇiya, preparing this absolutely massive feast. So Sela, kind of jokes around, "Hey, what's the occasion? Wedding? Hosting the king?" But Keṇiya's reply is just stunning. He says he's getting ready for someone called the Buddha. Now you have to understand, for a scholar like Sela, this was totally electrifying. The word Buddha wasn't just some common name. No, in his own sacred text, it was this legendary term. It referred to a prophesied great man, this extraordinary being that you could identify by 32 specific physical marks, a person who was destined for one of two incredibly powerful but very different paths in life. So the prophecy that Sela knew inside and out was really clear. This great man would either become a universal monarch, a righteous king ruling the entire world, or he would give all that up to become a fully awakened Buddha, someone who could unveil the ultimate truth of reality. So when Sela hears someone is actually claiming that title, well, he knows he absolutely has to go investigate for himself. To really get what Sela experienced, we need to look at the Buddha's words in a special way, through two completely different lenses. This is how we're going to see the story as Sela might have understood it, and it's going to reveal the layers of meaning hidden just beneath the surface. Okay, so here's how we're going to do it. First, we'll use what we're calling the dictionary view. This is a clean, modern translation, based on the most respected poly-English dictionaries. It's accurate, it's clear, but then we're going to switch to the root view. Using a type of linguistic analysis called Niruti, we'll break the words all the way down to their ancient roots to find the powerful, almost visceral meaning they would have had back then. This, my friends, is where the story truly comes alive. So Sela finds the Buddha, checks for the 32 marks of a great man, and sure enough, they're all there. He is completely convinced. He's looking at this incredibly impressive person and says, "You should be a king, a universal monarch." He's seeing that first destiny laid out right in front of him. But the Buddha's reply, well, that's what we need to zoom in on. He actually agrees with Sela, but with this one crucial twist. He says, "I am a king, Sela, an unsurpassed Dhamma Raja." Now, that word right there, Dhamma Raja, that is everything. What on earth does it actually mean? Let's pop on our two lenses and take a look. Okay, this is where it gets really, really interesting. The standard dictionary translation gives us king of the law. Sounds impressive, right? But when we dig down to the roots of the word, we get something way more dynamic, turner of the cosmic wheel. These two phrases, well, they paint two totally different pictures of what power even is. Let's think about that first one. King of the law. That brings a very specific image to mind, doesn't it? You picture a ruler on a throne, maybe, presiding over a fixed set of rules. He's an authority figure, a judge. His power is kind of static. He upholds the law. It's powerful, for sure, but it's also a pretty conventional idea of a king. But the root view, it tells a totally different story. Dhamma here isn't just law in a legal sense. It's the fundamental operating principle of the entire cosmos. And Raja, the word for king, it comes from an ancient root that means to shine, or, get this, to steer. So a Dhammaraja isn't someone who just sits there and rules. They are someone who actively steers, illuminates, and propels things forward. And with that deeper meaning, the whole picture just flips. The Buddha isn't claiming to be a static king of rules. He's a dynamic, cosmic force who doesn't just follow the principles of reality. He's the one who actively sets that great wheel in motion. He's not a monarch. He's more like a cosmic pilot. But wait, he doesn't stop there. The Buddha offers a second identity, something even more profound and way more personal to explain what he does in the world. And this is another term that would have been absolutely mind-blowing for Sela to hear. He calls himself the Salakato Anotaro. Now, through our dictionary view, that translates pretty cleanly to the unsurpassed surgeon, a very modern, almost clinical metaphor. But the root view, that gives us something far more visceral, the supreme arrow remover. The idea of a surgeon is something we all get. It suggests precision, incredible skill, a lot of expertise. But it can also feel a little detached, can it? Like a clinical procedure performed on a patient. It's effective, no doubt, but it doesn't really convey a deep personal connection to the suffering that's being healed. The raw power of this comes from the original words themselves. Sala isn't some general illness. It's an arrow, a dart, the piercing thorn of suffering. And kato isn't just to heal. It literally means one who pulls out, extracts, or removes. The language is just so direct and physical, you can almost feel it. And that image is profoundly different, isn't it? This is not a detached professional in some sterile room. This is someone who comes right up to you in your moment of agony, gets down on your level, and physically pulls out the very arrow that's causing all your pain. It's an act of intimate, immediate, and incredibly deep compassion. So what does all of this mean for Sela? When we plug these deeper, more powerful meanings back into the story, his dramatic decision at the end suddenly makes perfect sense. He didn't just hear some clever words. He experienced a profound, life-altering realization. See, Sela understood that he was in the presence of someone far, far greater than any earthly king. This wasn't a king of the law. This was the turner of the cosmic wheel. This wasn't just a skilled surgeon. This was the one being who could remove the arrow of suffering right from his heart. And that's why Sala's own language suddenly shifts. He calls the Buddha a Mahaviro, a great hero, roaring like a lion in the forest. And the result of this profound understanding, it was immediate, it was absolute. Sela, the great master scholar, turns to his students and declares he's going to follow this great hero. And moved by their teacher's conviction and what they just witnessed, all 300 of his followers made the exact same choice, right then and there. So this leaves us with a final thought to chew on. You see, a simple dictionary translation gives us one story. A very wise teacher impresses a scholar. It's a good story. But the root meanings, they reveal a completely different narrative, one where a cosmic pilot and a compassionate healer inspire a hero's complete devotion. And it really makes you wonder, how many other stories out there have we only ever understood on the surface?